Imagine a man who got fired from his own company. A man who was told he wasn't smart enough, not stable enough, not good enough to lead. Yet, that same man came back years later and built the most valuable company on earth. This is not just a story of success, it's a story of rebellion, vision, and an unbreakable belief in one's dream. This is the untold success story of Steve Jobs, the man who taught the world to think different.
Steve Jobs, a name that echoes through the world of innovation, creativity, and rebellion. Born on February 24, 1955, in San Francisco, California, Steve was adopted by a modest couple, Paul and Clara Jobs, who had no idea their son would someday redefine technology itself. From his earliest days, Steve was curious, not just about how things worked, but why they worked. His childhood was filled with endless questions, constant tinkering, and a spark of imagination that could not be contained. When he met Steve Wozniak, another brilliant mind with a passion for electronics, a revolution quietly began inside a garage, the humble birthplace of Apple. In 1976, with barely any money but an ocean of ideas, the two Steves built the first Apple computer. They didn't just build a machine, they built a dream, a symbol of creativity that anyone could use. Within a few short years, Apple became one of the fastest-growing companies in America. But success didn't come without conflict. Jobs' perfectionism and relentless drive made him difficult to work with. And, in a shocking twist, at the age of just 30, he was fired from the very company he created. Most people would have given up, but not Steve Jobs. Instead, he called that moment the best thing that ever happened to him. Free from Apple's pressure, he started over, founding Next, a computer company years ahead of its time, and later buying a small animation studio called Pixar. That studio would go on to create Toy Story, changing animation forever and making Pixar a global powerhouse. Meanwhile, Apple began to fall apart without him. Ironically, the same company that had thrown him out would soon need him again. In 1997, Apple was on the edge of bankruptcy. The board brought Jobs back, and within a few years, he didn't just save Apple, he reinvented it. With his vision, Apple launched the iMac, the iPod, the iPhone, and the iPad. Products that didn't just dominate the market, but change how humans interact with technology. Steve wasn't just a CEO, he was a storyteller, a perfectionist, a visionary who believed technology should serve art and emotion. Every Apple product carried his fingerprint, simple, beautiful, and revolutionary. But behind the success was a man who faced pain, illness, and constant self-doubt. Diagnosed with pancreatic cancer in 2003, Jobs continued to work relentlessly, hiding his pain behind that iconic black turtleneck and calm voice. In every keynote, he stood on stage with the same fire that fueled him from the beginning. His words became lessons for millions. Stay hungry, stay foolish. He reminded the world that great ideas are born from passion, not comfort, from courage, not fear. Even when his health deteriorated, his mind never stopped creating, never stopped dreaming. On October 5, 2011, the world lost Steve Jobs, but his legacy became immortal. Every iPhone, every piece of Apple technology carries his DNA of innovation and elegance. Jobs proved that success isn't about avoiding failure. It's about embracing it, learning from it, and rising higher than before. He showed us that to change the world, you must first believe you can. Steve Jobs' story isn't just about technology. It's about vision, persistence, and the courage to dream big when no one else believes. He was more than an inventor. He was an artist who used technology as his canvas. And today, as billions of people hold an Apple device in their hands, they unknowingly hold a piece of his dream. That is the true success of Steve Jobs, a man who thought different, lived different, and left the world different.